Hello, and welcome to yet another one of these about the albums things. Videos? Sure. Uh, and this time we're talking about Thorn in You, originally released in August of 2015. And just for the whole about the albums things, I don't know, in case you somehow randomly stumbled on this one first, basically just me talking about all the songs on my albums, and these first ones here are all done, like, this is done later, so I've remastered a bunch of stuff of my old albums, and I'm just talking about them now, and these are going to be, the old versions of stuff aren't up anymore. It's just them cleaned up a little bit what I could do with Audacity. Also, if you want to hear the full songs or listen to the full album, or maybe you want to use the timestamps to jump to specific songs here, because you already heard the album and you're like, I want to hear about, tidbits about that song or something, I'm going to have links and timestamps and that stuff in the description. And if there's any questions that I don't really quite answer, you can always leave a comment and ask me that stuff too. So just throwing that out there, because I don't throw it out there enough, and I always forget to preface this with, hey, there's stuff in the description too to make this easier to navigate. And the album Thorn in You, I don't remember a whole lot special about this one either. This is one where I don't think it wasn't really like a theme or a thing going on. It was just me making music. The only real thing I can think of for a tidbit about the album generally as a whole was that I was I think this was when I kind of figured out, like, oh yeah, the CDs can hold roughly 80 minutes, so if I can shoot for just a bit under 80 minutes, it's like 79 minutes and some seconds. So I kind of just recorded music until I was about there, and I was like, that's good, and then just uploaded it at that point, which means that it might be kind of a mix of things. I remember this being a good album. It's got like 20 songs on it, so I remember it being a good album, but I don't know if that'll hold up. We'll have to see as I go through them again. And, over time your opinions will change anyways, but yeah, wow, that's getting really wrinkly. I don't know. There's not a whole lot else to say. I guess I should just stop talking. Then when I'm done with saying things, I should stop talking, because I'm trying to come up with some kind of funny bit to work with it. But sorry if I seem frustrated. I just am. I just fucking am. So well, that's a great way to start things off, is me being pissed off immediately. Let's just get into the songs, I guess, because whatever the fuck, I don't give a shit. Do you? Does anybody watch these? No? That's what I thought.
You live in a place, Bo. You can't leave till you know. You got no place to go. You live in a place, Bo.
Place Bo is about it's about taking like drugs and medication and whatever. Basically just the idea that it just came from a very paranoid Sam, where I guess I thought that it was more that I was worried that, like, if I had to take any kind of like meds or something, that I was worried that was going to kind of like control me. Like, oh man, like, is it really me anymore, or is it just like the medication talking? That kind of idea. Coming from not a very good understanding of it, obviously, because I'm someone who hasn't had to take any for anything. So, at least I've never been officially told I have to. So I don't know if that's necessarily even true. I just never got checked for anything really either to do that. So, yeah, it's I was just kind of worried about that, I guess, and the idea that, like, it's kind of like stuff to, like, kind of control your mind a bit. So that's kind of like that kind of paranoid take on it. I'm not wanting to take any kind of anything. And the title, you can tell, is obviously it's how I remember how to spell placebo, because you just put place and then bow. So I thought it'd be funny to separate and be like place bow. That's why I say you live in a place bow, because you're living in a placebo, like, which doesn't really make a lot of sense either then, because if you the placebo is something that's like, it's not actually doing anything, you just think it's doing something. So it's a really strange song mentally. Also, my stomach is making really loud noises right now. It was fine before I started recording, but right now, right the fuck now, it's being a piece of motherfucking shit right the fuck now, and I am just mad as all get out about it. But, hey, I got to clip the microphone, so that's always fucking good for comedy. It's always good for quality content, and I definitely don't want to fucking punch myself in the dick right now. Why would it matter? My dick doesn't even work right. So there's actually like this was based on a riff I did on Awesomer, which was originally from the album Awesomer, which is like an ASMR album. I did a whole bunch of music with like sound effects and like tones and stuff to make it help like relax you and put you to sleep. So like, and to hopefully trigger that ASMR, the response. But since that's gone, Awesomer, that song does exist on Surviving Sam. You can check that one out if you want. And even though I do technically sing a bit on it, it's way at the end of it. And the song's really long, and essentially I decided, okay, well, I'm going to use this riff for like a song where I'm actually singing through the whole song because I liked it. And here we are. We've got Placebo. So I think it's a neat way to kind of kick off the album. The only thing I don't like is that the guitar sounds a little weird because the layering wasn't perfect. So you can tell it's a little off, and it kind of like makes the tones sound kind of strange. I don't like that sound. But other than that, it's cool, and like the little like weird like electric flute thing, whatever the fuck that is for that tone, that sounds cool. So I do still like Placebo. And I also think it's funny to be very angrily saying Placebo. Also, they like get mad. Take these like when sad or whatever. It's like take two when mad, take these get glad. It's kind of a play on the don't get mad, get glad garbage bag commercial slogan. So that could be interesting in a perfect world. In a perfect world, we'd be interested by slogans of garbage bags.
All guns fire, fire upon the enemy. All guns fire, shoot to wound or kill. All guns fire.
All Guns Fire is another actually pretty good one for starting the album. I probably shouldn't have loaded it with two of these in the front like this that are good for this. It has kind of a similar sound too, with like some of the instruments, like the guitars and like the bass and stuff. I don't know. So putting them right next to each other right away maybe wasn't the best way to play my hand, but it's kind of just about a general like idea of like being obsessed with like war and someone who is like sending out troops with guns and stuff and like having them just kill a bunch of different people for whatever reasons they see fit. Whether it's like some weird like personal thing or like cultural thing or religious thing, and they're just kind of killing, almost indiscriminately because of these things. It's kind of built on that idea. And I don't know, I thought the lyrics like were pretty good. I thought the singing actually went decently as well, even though I didn't do anything too crazy with my voice. So I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about it. Outside of I still like that. I kind of like that. I go all guns fire and like shoot before the solo, and then at the end I just say fire. I don't know. That's kind of vaguely neat, but it just kind of came together. That, and I feel like the solo was actually one where I had a scripted solo where I actually knew what I was going to hit rather than just going nuts on it and hoping it worked out, So that's always rare to see because it doesn't happen very often. It's like a fucking holographic card in there, You're like, oh damn, I guess these do exist. Just almost never. And that is All Guns Fire.
Lorraine, Lorraine,
No, Rain Lorraine isn't about anyone. I don't know anyone named Lorraine. It's not a thing where you just replace the name. But it's about the idea of someone, like, basically the idea of, like, somebody, like, not being in your life anymore, and it's like they left you or whatever. And it's kind of like you were like the water in their life, and you need that to, that's an important thing you need to survive. And it's just gone now. It's kind of the idea. I like kind of the slow build for some of the stuff, but also like the main, like, chorus part, whatever, the part when I get to saying Lorraine, just sounds weird. I feel like I'm a bit too loud and I don't do enough with my voice in there. So kind of a strange song in that sense. The interesting thing about this song, though, is that actually originally when I put this up, it got, like, glitched, because I believe when I was doing it, what I would always do is I would have, like, the music file, and I would have they were all videos when I originally did it. And so the and I don't know if it was, I guess I don't even know exactly how it happened either. Maybe I can't remember exactly what happened. Somehow or another, maybe it just glitched when I was downloading it or something for the MP3. So I think actually, yeah, that's what it was. The MP3 was glitched, or something got messed up with it, where essentially it was just too short. Like, it was like right before the solo stuff happened. It just, like, a hard cut right there. And I don't know. I guess I don't know why. I think it was just some weird mistake when I was converting it. I blame the online converter I used, but it was kind of interesting to then come back here and be like, oh, it's like a full song is, like, basically I took the full song from YouTube. I think that's actually the way it went. I took the full song from YouTube then. So now we actually have the full song here and remastered and up on YouTube, whereas before it was the full song. I think I just didn't have that on my CD one. I didn't realize it was full on YouTube still. So yeah, it must have just been the conversion of the MP3. It was really weird. I don't know why that happened, but yeah, nice to have all of a song and not have it, because if it wasn't there and it was just like this on every version I had, it would just be lost to time, because, like, that was however long ago on, like, a computer I don't even have now. So, like, it would have been just completely lost to time.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. How do you do? My middle name is Killing. Just call me Mr. U.
First Name I'm is a song about, actually based on a poem I wrote, and I just used that for the lyrics. A poem. And it's about a murderer who goes around and kills people and then takes their faces and wears their faces. And that's kind of how, like, the idea that they're doing that to jump around and how they're not being identified is because they look like somebody else. Though you think they would be incriminating when they look like somebody who was just killed recently, but if they can't identify the person that's killed because they don't have a face, it could kind of... Anyway, I'm not going to pretend like it's a great premise or a good one, but it is a premise. And I just kind of talk most of it, so that sucks, because I hate my voice as an general extension of myself. Hatred goes, all hatred goes down that road. So that's just a stop. Voice is a stop along the way. Go get some gas, a few snacks before you continue down the road. Wave goodbye to there'll be another hate station down the road. So I kind of like that there's the the instruments. Some of the instruments are interesting that I used. Like weird horn thing, and, like, I don't know even what the one, like, there's something like synth thing. One weird instrument that I don't even know what the fuck it was that I use at the end for, like, the solo-y bits. Like, that was cool. I like the way it ends with that stuff too. Like, the ending of it is neat. And the like, just the thing of being like my middle name is Killing, which I thought was kind of a funny thing. Like when I put in there, it's like my middle name is Killing. It's, you know, usually somebody's like, that's my middle name. Like Danger is my middle name, you know, that kind of thing. Or like, my middle name is Killing. It's like, but call me Mr. U. So like, their name is like something killing you, right? And then that's why I never bring up the first names. That's why the title of the song is First Name I'm. It's I'm Killing You. So that's I'm Killing You. Bat Rastard is another clever switching of letters in Rat Bastard. I didn't really know. The song is not really about anything. It's just words that rhyme. And this kind of stuff that I felt when I was doing it. It's like, that sounds neat, and I just left it. I didn't bother to make it about anything. Not about a single goddamn fuck. And so at the beginning and end, it's like, this is Bat Rastard. That was Bat Rastard. So you know that that's what the song is. I thought that would be kind of funny. The song itself, the music is based on an instrumental I did called Cosmic Ride. So it has like maybe a few slightly different tones. I like the clarinet thrown in there. Sounds nice. But yeah, it's very simple. Just very simple A, B, and then like the different thing for like the solo. And like, it's a song. It has words, they rhyme, it has instruments, they play, it has my voice, it sings. It's a song. I mean, whatever. Whatever.
Find a way to beat the oven. Fight the fire with all we've got. Coming down to push and shoving. Kitchen's getting way too hot.
Epic Kitchen is about global warming. And that's pretty much it. You could probably apply it to other things, but that was kind of the idea. And I think the singing was okay in it. I think it was interesting the way some of like the notes, especially like in the verses, how it's just kind of like the layering of like, those are kind of weird things to put with each other. I don't know if you would call that harmonizing, but they sound interesting together. I like the little bell chime thing that comes in. I think the overall progression is one I've had for a long time. I think I actually might be on one of the compilation of tape, Sam's keyboard series on tape. It might be on that stuff, but I don't know. Hey, my stomach making noises again. Great! And this, like, I don't know. The music itself I really like, though, that progression, and I guess I thought I'd made a song about it or with it before this one, but I didn't. So it's actually just, it's there. And that's Epic Kitchen. And look, partway through this, I'm gonna apologize right now. I'm sorry that it seems real like a real horrible edition of About the Albums right now, but like, just my stomach is making noises, my fridge is making noises, my light is even sometimes making noises, and just, it's too fucking hot in here. It just is, and I don't feel very good, and it's, I probably don't have enough sleep, and I just, everything sucks. Basically what I'm saying is everything sucks. And, I think I had a positive thing I was going to add sarcastically, but I don't remember what it was now. Oh yeah, the button's still on my shirt. Can you see it? I don't know. I don't care. Fuck me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Oh shit, the chair's there.
No way, that's right. No way, that's right. No way, that's right. No way, that's right.
No way, that's right. I think it was vaguely like an idea of like a space. I don't know why it reminds me of like a space thing. And it was like, we're trying to go in and like, it's where this collapse the head and explode like I don't know. Look, I thought it was a space thing, or then I listened to the lyrics and I'm like, what makes it space about that? It sounds like I'm trying to collapse something's head and then blow it up. So that would be like when I think of like Andros from Star Fox. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. I shouldn't even make this stupid fucking dumbass series when I can't remember half the fucking shit. I can't even remember 1/10 of the shit that went through my fucking mind when I did fucking anything. You know, what's even the point? But the song is still cool. Like the singing worked well with it. The two voices layered sound pretty good together. I sang them like in the same way, which is interesting. The way like because the way I sang it seemed kind of specific, but I like that they like sang the same. They had the same swoops and timing on it, so that was good. And then the music itself is good. I like that. It's just very catchy, and then it's kind of like just a short song where it's like, yeah, you do the verse chorus thing, you solo, the chorus is done. Like and it gets in, it gets out, it does what it needs to do. That's how you make a song. That's how you make a goddamn song. That's how you song. Song?
We're in the land of the losers, beggars, they cannot be choosers. Got no solid excuses, and that's just the way.
LOTL stands for Land of the Losers, as the song will let you know when you listen to it. And it's vaguely about, I mean, it's largely about just me being a loser. It's kind of vaguely about, like, maybe it's like somebody just, like, who was famous now, like, washed up now. Maybe it's kind of about, like, kind of applies a bit to, like, going out and, like, I'm gonna go gamble and stuff, and then just losing all of the money and everything, right? Like, I don't know. But it's mostly about being, like, I think more so because of the way most of the lyrics are, it was more about just like, you're somebody now, you're nobody, and just like washed up, and nobody like even wants to bother to like give you like a chance to be like, see, I'm still somebody, because it's like, who cares at this point? This is very music heavy, and I think that's fine, but I do think that because it has the slow build in the beginning, there's only some of the singing and then like a lot of like, you know, just jamming out at the end. The song feels longer than it is, and that's a shame. It's okay, it moves, it goes, but it just, yeah, I do think it just feels a little long. I think also LOTL is, you know, it's hip to abbreviate things that way, and I think it may have had a slight reference to League of Legends, which is abbreviated as LOL. But, you know, I think that was just kind of in thinking of the name later. It wasn't really, obviously the song isn't based around that. That's just a thing I used to play and then grew to hate it. And then I never played it again.
Do the murky, 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 do the murky.
Do the Murky sounds like a dance instruction, but really it's just because the original instrumental song I had was called The Murky, and then I tried to turn that into a song with words, and so it was this, and I think I picked some better tones for it. It's shorter, but it has more going on, and yeah, I just really like it. It's really simple. I couldn't quite decide when I was saying do the Murky if I wanted to go do the Murky. Some of the times I was like do the Murky. It's like more like A, so it sounds weird. They kind of accidentally kept switching them, but I think it's a nice little like catchy one. And I don't know, I still like it quite a bit. And the little part where it breaks down, like the electric piano sounds cool, and like the I like the little end bit and the way it like goes into that little solo-y bit and ends. Like, I don't know, it overall the song just like, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's what's there is really catchy. I just really like Do the Murky. I still like it quite a bit. Like that might be the one they play on the radio. I mean, in the fantasy world where I ever get played on the radio, In the fantasy world, well, anyone gives a shit about radio anymore. I guess some people probably still do. I don't know. There's probably people who give a shit about radio. Probably. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. No, it changed my mind. No, nope. No one at all. Never. Ever. None. There. Whatever.
Can't live in my life, no. Can't live in my life, no. Can't live in my life, no. Can't live in my life, no.
Can't Live in My Life was a song I actually did I played the riffs and everything a lot back when I was doing just instrumental stuff. And it was one that I figured out how to do in MTV Music Generator. I made a song out of it there as well. But finally I was like, because I always had like that, like, Can't Live in My Life, no, that like chorus part. I always had that like stuck in my head when I was doing it. And so it's like, I'm going to try to make this into a song at this point. It was like later, it's like, I'll make that into an actual song. And it's not very good. Just like the singing isn't great. I didn't have a lot going on for the verses. I didn't try a whole lot hard for the singing there or the verses. And then just kind of was hoping the song itself would carry. But then it repeats too much. And then it doesn't work that well because it's just repeating kind of the same thing. And it sounds fine, but it gets old. And it's just, so it's a little long. I didn't have enough variety in it. It could have been something neat. But it's just kind of sad that something I liked so much for so long ended up being like, coming out as this and being like, oh yeah, this is what you thought you wanted and I guess it's not. And maybe, someone with the actual talent to make it into something good could. But I can't move a rubber tree plant. Pie Hard is another song where I just kind of say a bunch of stuff that rhymes. It's got a cool echoey effect I put on my voice, which wasn't an effect like through the pedal though. It was actually just I sang it on the one thing with the music really low. So when I layered it, I could make it quiet enough so you couldn't really hear the music behind it. And I just manually, put another one underneath that. Made the voice quieter and it saved that. And I think I just did that again and moved it further and made it even quieter. So it was just like a naturally made echo through Windows Movie Maker, which doesn't really have an echo effect. High-tech stuff. Just the song, yeah, it's just kind of a simple, catchy, like, playing that stuff, progression. And I think with the echo and the way I'm singing it, like, I think I sang it pretty well in terms of using my voice for using the strengths of my voice. But, I think that kind of came together. I don't feel like I sold it out, even when I was like, I mentioned poopies. I didn't like go out of my way. I didn't go out of my way to make it sound weird. I didn't, or unintentionally make it sound like, goofy. So it's nice I didn't, because like that happens sometimes when you say stuff like, this is a goofy line, you say it kind of goofy. I like that I didn't sell out the goofiness of the line. It's like, no, it's goofy. It's goofy enough that I'm saying poopies in a song. I don't have to like emphasize it, right? So like I like that I was able to capture that. And actually the interesting bit is like that first like synth part kind of goes through for the solo. The first part of that is like goes into like a riff that I used for basically like two songs. Like there's like or maybe a few. It was like that was a riff I'd used for, I think it was originally like it was like Swamp Stomp, and then one I called Robot March. I used kind of that same like riff as like for like the bass line stuff to like for the progression of it. So I like that it kind of snuck its way into here as like a thing I did for a song where I sang on a song. I kind of like that how it fit. That was neat. And yeah, the end part's just kind of cool of like just playing around with the different like solos of like different instruments doing stuff. Then the reason it's called Pie Hard is because, at the end I yell Pie Hard. Like, it's gonna sound awesome with the echo on it. Also because it's a play on the movie Die Hard. I just called it Pie Hard because I thought that was funny. That's also the stupid joke that I say every time too. It's like, so if they made a porn parody of Die Hard, do you think they would call it Guy Hard?
Life is thrust upon these creatures. Love is what the sentient feel.
A familiar concept is just about mortality. It's about, living and dying. You live and you start to learn, like, oh, this is like life. This is what life is. And then people die. And it's a familiar concept in the sense that we understand it. We've all been like, oh, yeah, like that's a thing. But despite that, it doesn't make it any less impactful when we experience these things so around us. That's really all a familiar concept was about. And it doesn't, like, I don't know, it has some interesting instruments in it, and it's a kind of a slower, sadder song, so that's kind of interesting. But not a whole lot to it other than, again, like, a lot of this on this album was kind of me just going along, like, I'm making songs. I wasn't super concerned with doing any high concepts or any, like, I don't know. I mean, I was working through stuff probably personally still, but a lot of it wasn't being reflected in the songs so much, so I don't know, I'm a weird dude.
Feel the thorn inside you. Feel the thorn inside you. Feel the thorn inside you. Feel the thorn inside you.
Thorn in You is the title track, and honestly, I remember this being a lot better than I'm liking it now. The main starting point is me, it's not really about much of anything. Like, it's kind of the idea of, like, a thorn is inside of you, like something, like, stuck in you and it's bothering you. And I think it's, like, you can kind of see it, I don't know if I really meant it this way, but you can kind of see it as, like, something that's, like, nagging at you, bothering you. It's, like, just digging into you. And it's just, like, you should feel like how upset and unsettled you are. Like me, and how my stomach keeps making noises continuously, endlessly. Only when I'm recording, mind you. But when I'm recording, endlessly. So if ever I'm recording, my curse dictates that my stomach must make weird noises. Things must happen outside. Things must happen all around my room. Everything must make strange noises that cannot be simply edited out. That cannot be whisked away. They must just be there for everyone to hear and be like, what is that? Why is that? I'm annoyed. And his mouth sounds weird too. His mouth, I hope he doesn't even have a mouth next time, because he just sounds so like. Good thing I'm not mad though. Good thing this isn't a thorn right up my fucking scrot. The thing is, like, I like the jam out bit at the end, but like the stuff before that, I'm just singing, it's like, it doesn't do anything different. It's doing the same thing as, like, the square lead thing. And the Thorn in You part would have been cool with the way my voice is, like, the harmonies I'm creating, but the problem with that is that, God, I'm really breathy, I'm sorry, is that it's, like, too loud in the mix, so, like, it ended up clipping in the final thing that I did, so it sounds like shit. But other than that, I like it. Like, it's like kind of catchy, like, jamming out parts at the end or whatever, but, the funnest fact of all is that the applause you hear at the end of it is not an actual audience, but an applause effect on the keyboard. I know. I mean, I'm even more shocked than you, because this is the first time I knew that. I'm convinced there was a crowd there, but the notes I was given by, I didn't think out that bit.
Two different people. Two different people.
Too Different is about, just two people finding out they're not really compatible with each other. And it's like, we should just split ways and not be with each other anymore. That kind of idea. It wasn't really based on anything personal, though, so that's interesting, I guess. And the main thing of, like, oh, too different, I kind of like that it's vague. When you have to write it out, especially with, like, lyrics and, like, the title, it's just like, too different. Well, it's kind of like too different is in the number, and too different is in, like, the amount of how different you are. So, like, writing it out kind of ruins the ambiguity of saying it, but it's okay. I don't think it's great, but I don't think it sucks. So I'm I guess you could say, indifferent to too different.
Move along before you start to hate me. Move along before I start to hate you. Move along before we start the hating. Move along, move along.
Move Along is kind of a similar tone. Instead of being more like, it's less about relationshipy stuff and more about like just in general not liking someone, not getting along with them. It's like, just move along. We gotta stop fighting. It's like, this is not gonna work out. Like, gotta move along, because we're not coming to any kind of agreement. It's not getting better. Nothing to see here. Move along. It's not the droid you're looking for, and it's a pretty simple one too. But I do like the flow of it. The way I sing it, it almost sounds like a Red Hot Chili, like me doing a Red Hot Chili Peppers impression for singing. Almost, I always feel like I kind of have that quality to my voice. Like I'm trying to, like if I were to cover a Red Hot Chili Peppers song, this is probably how I would sound, and people will be like, "It doesn't sound very close." But the ending thing is also kind of, I don't know, the ending's a little weak, where it's just kind of like, kind of repeat stuff and just little things playing and whatever. So it's weird that my singing helps carry the song for that part, and in the end it's like, whatever. Because it is like musically kind of a little scant, I guess. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Am I crazy? I'm probably crazy.
And you're trying so hard to intimidate, just to make us all scared. But we know deep down in our hearts, we will always be spared.
Spared is kind of about like intimidation tactics and like trying to be like really intimidate someone when you're not really going to do anything about it. And this idea of like being aware of that, meaning like, I know what you're saying, I know what you're trying to do, but I know you're never going to actually go through with it. That kind of idea. And actually the music for it, the main riffs, that's based off of an instrumental I did back on Beautiful Pieces, an album that's no longer on the channel. Don't look for it, you won't find it. I don't know if that song got saved at all or not. It maybe did, but I don't actually, I didn't even look again to remember at this point. I'm just all over the goddamn place. But the song from there was Flashback to Busier Days. And this uses the same main riff as that, but it does other stuff under it and different instruments instead of just piano. And I like the parts where it breaks down and it's like, oh yeah, there's like little things playing, and that kind of gives it time to breathe. I think the bass line around the verses is really cool too, or I guess the chorus, whatever, it's the same thing. Around the singing part, that bass line came out pretty cool. I like that. And the interesting tone it kind of fades out on going through. It's like the like, I don't know. It's put together interestingly enough, where even though it's not necessarily doing a whole lot, you're getting a lot out of the little bits that it does do and appreciating the music that's there. So I still like Spared. That's why I something about bowling. I don't know.
Bad people, so evil. Bad people, no chance to be equal. They've wrecked you. Bad people.
Bad People was actually a song that was inspired by this a pretty bad story of well, my friend had a friend. It's one of those where they told me about that friend, and who apparently, like, their parents were like real like messed up to him and like, you know, just like a lot of weird like mental abuse things happening, and then doing like weird shit, and then trying to like, you know, you try to be like friendly doing whatever until like they're mad at them or whatever, and like they're, you know, and then they can just like take out whatever, but then they need to like, oh, we need to function well, we need to look good or whatever will be nice to you. Stuff that probably mentally would fuck somebody up, and eventually that person ended up committing suicide. So It sounded pretty awful. So that's why the song exists. So it's kind of about that. And I actually really like the song. Just the idea that that emotion's like back there. Even though I am somewhat removed from it, and just like the song itself, like I like the tones that I picked and the stuff. The way it kind of came together. It's kind of like it's really punchy, it's catchy, and I like the solo bit is pretty good. The way it kind of like actually follows a scripted solo that follows the thing I wanted to do with it. Just the way it does like kind of like bass drops and then bass comes back in and that kind of stuff. Like the composition of the song is nice. So I think this one came together to be I still think this is a pretty good song. So yeah, it's a PSA. Don't mentally or physically or in any way abuse anyone, especially your fucking kids, man. Especially your fucking kids.
We can't guide you. We can't reach you out there. We can't help you. We can't save you out there.
A Body Out There is about being in space and just being kind of screwed because they can't really, like, you're getting a transmission through, but they can't really find you or see you. They can't guide you. They can't do anything to help get you back home. And it could be that you're in like a ship sending a transmission or something, or it could be that you're just like flailing out there like without a ship, just like in a spacesuit or something, and you're like, man, like I need help because I need somebody to bring me back. But I guess guiding you wouldn't do any good without being in a ship, so it's probably more about being in a spaceship. The song is kind of repetitive, but I like the music of it. It's just maybe it could have been shorter. Could have done more with it, maybe. Although it would have been another option. But I do like the synth thing, kind of sounding like a distress signal being sent out. And the interesting thing with overlapping my voice was that on the one take, I was up close singing by the camera to do that, and on the other take, I was actually standing like really far away from the camera and the keyboard and stuff, and I was singing back there. So that would be because it sounds different. So you can hear me like in the back of the room versus being right up next to it. So you hear more like room. What is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word now. Because you can hear like the sound of the room. Ambiance isn't the word. It's not like echo. Well, there was a word for it. Also, I found out that what was going on with every once in a while, it seems like my mic just randomly is like, oh, it recorded really quiet this time. Am I hitting something on this? No. It's when I go and I'm editing stuff. I'm using the stupid touch thing on like the laptop because I'm not using like the mouse pad, touchy square pad thing you have on laptops because I don't have a mouse won't fit where I have it sit right now. And when I go to hit the delete to trim the clips, sometimes when I hit the tap thing there, like sometimes accidentally it double taps it instead of like clicking once, it clicks twice. And where delete is right under, like it's right on the microphone symbol, so it makes my microphone go like way down in volume rather than being like the max volume that I have it set for. That makes sense to do. So I feel better that I figured that out. I just hope I catch it now more often than I did before, but more behind the scenes stuff. I guess that's what the whole thing is about, right? Me too.
Wherever I go, whatever I know, I'll disappoint you. Some kind of psycho. Whatever I do, whoever I know, I'll disappoint you. Some kind of psycho.
Some kind of psycho is. It's really just about the idea that I keep, I mess everything up and that I'm fucked up, I've just done bad things and I've made mistakes and no matter what I do, no matter what, I'll be a disappointment. I'm just gonna be a psycho. And that's a very real thing, as I've really feel like I let people down all the time. I feel like I can't really, no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, I can't really fix that. And like, don't get me wrong, I like the song. It still sounds cool. I like some of the tones I picked and everything. It still fits, you know?
Everybody's gonna be smacking the bitches. Everybody's gonna be smacking the bitches. Everybody's gonna be smacking the bitches. Everybody's gonna be smacking the bitches.
Smackin Bitches is the last song on the album because holy shit, I didn't even want to put it on the goddamn thing. I was like, do I even post this? Because it's about hitting women, and that's bad. It's kind of making fun of some like over the top hip hop stuff, I guess. But I was like, I don't know if they're gonna realize that this is like a joke because it kind of relies on knowing me and how it sounds absurd coming out of me. But if they don't know me and they just hear the song, they're like, well, fuck this guy. So I almost didn't put it on here at all. But it's pseudo hip hop rap thing. I can't really do either very well, so it's out of my wheelhouse. So I just am like, I hope this comes off as funny, like I want it to. And yeah, so that's Smackin Bitches. I mean, like it's cool. The way they sang it is just kind of obnoxious. And I do like the music though, like the kind of like breakdown thing of like, you know, the music parts between are interesting. So I like that. But I don't know. I still feel a little uneasy about having it here. Hopefully people get it, and if they don't, I'll go viral and people will be like, fuck this guy. But hey, then I'll have a lot of views, so I guess I win. And that's the end of the album though. That's all of Thorn and You, and it is still pretty solid. It's pretty good. Maybe a few songs I'm like on, but in general, I think most of these songs are pretty solid. Even if like there's not a ton of great ones on here, there's a lot of like solid ones. So I'm not like, man, this song is awful, skip this one, whatever, like that kind of thing. So that's pretty good. Yeah, like I said, button is still on my shirt. Links and timestamps stuff are in the description. You can comment if you want to know more about any of the things. And sorry I'm so upset during this episode. Maybe should not record when various things are upsetting me, but I did because I want to get these done, because I'm working on them for months. For most of the fucking year I've been working on YouTube stuff, okay? Just so you understand, at the beginning of the year I started working on this stuff. It's now like the end, like as I'm recording this, it's like November, almost December. So yeah, I want to be fucking done with it already, right? I thought I would be done with all the YouTube channel cleanup and doing this and then doing new stuff by now. And I'm still doing this shit. And it's stressing me out and driving me fucking crazy. I fucking hate it. But I'm trying to still make the quality content while I'm making it. And just be really stressed out and pissed off camera, where it's not going to affect the content as much. But at least I'm doing both here. It's just that these are going to get bloated because, like, here's the stuff I would have told you anyway. Plus me being mad. Consider it a bonus. And now I'm going to stand here or do something for a bit while we fade out. So, I don't know. I'll put the microphone on my head. So the artwork here for Thorn in You is just, ooh, I mean, it's just a picture of me. See, I have like a polo on, and then I put like a hoodie on over that, kind of, and I have the hood up a bit, and then I have like that hat on. And I tried to pick the worst pose I possibly could, just to like really showcase like I look like crap. That was kind of the point. It was I'll look like crap. And I do. And I don't know. Just the picture is also really low quality because it was on my old camera, my old like video camera, which took horrible photos. And I think I blew it up a bit. So the only thing I really redid for the remaster here is just I colored over the title and my name, and I just like traced over it in paint by using the select a color and selected the color that it was before, so that would be at least come out sharper, which makes the rest of the image look blurrier in comparison because that's so sharp. Really, just, I mean, there's not much to it. It's just me looking bad because I thought it would be funny to just look terrible, and boy, it was real hard.
Cause the sluts and the cunts, they just don't understand.